Alright, so welcome back. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful and exciting tutorial, we're trying to see how to do natural language processing in Rust. So this is still on the Rust roadmap, and let's see what you'll be doing. So I'm picking something from GenAI because as you learn, you should always be applying. And in GenAI, we have natural language processing, right? Which is the concept of, or the subfield of the computer science, in which we are trying to allow computers to be able to process natural language, right? Human language. So let's see how to do NLP in Rust. So NLP, as already said, stands for natural language processing, and then there are so many applications of them. So one of the classical application is LLM, which everybody knows about, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and the rest. Then we also have text classification. So text classification is another subfield or application of NLP, in which we are given it a test, right? And then the system is going to now classify the test as either positive or negative, or based on a particular classification or particular category. So a simple example of test classification is sentiment analysis, in which you try to identify the emotions within a test. So it can be negative, neutral, and positive. Another example is spam detection, which is used by most of our Gmail services like Gmail, Hotmail, to detect spam. Then there's also summarization. Of course, there are a lot. Now let's see how to do NLP, specifically sentiment analysis, in Rust. So unlike Python, right? So Rust doesn't have a standard library like testblob to help you do that, but maybe in the future to come. The libraries we can do that involves natural, and then you can also use machine learning. So let's see how to do sentiment analysis in Rust. So there are so many methods, or two main methods for sentiment analysis. So the main one is a statistical method, in which you have a lexicon of all the words, right? So, and then for every word you have grouped them. So we have a word like laugh is a positive word, happy is a positive word, hate is a negative word. Then you have it as a lexicon. Then you have a function that counts these words within a test, identify their scores, and then compute a score, right? So this is the statistical method. That is Vader, right? If you know Vader, that is the main idea behind it. The other method is using ML, in which you will have a test, a label test of positive, negative, or neutral. Then you train a model to be able to predict the class, right? Which is why it is called test classification. So let's see how to do sentiment analysis using this method and this method in Rust. So I'll go back again to our workspace here, and then I'm going to create inside this place, I'm going to create a cargo. So cargo new, I'll call that sentiment analysis, right? So yeah, just that's what we're doing. Then I'll move into my sentiment analysis, and then let's open it. So how does the sentiment analysis work? So a simple example of the sentiment analysis is that we have this simple app here, in which if I paste in some text here, so I love coding, right, and reading, we will analyze the test, and then we get a positive sentiment, right? Perfect. So this is a simple application that we built, and we'll be building later on using actix-web, actix, and whatever I'm going to be learning about sentiment analysis. Then I can also change it, so I say he dislike coding or something like this. If I click on this, we see that we get a negative sentiment. Very cool. So this is a simple application of sentiment analysis. It can be used in so many ways. So in the next tutorial, I'll try and see how to build this wonderful app. But before then, let's go to how to do statistical method, how to do sentiment analysis in Rust. So I'll come down again, and let's install the packages. So the packages we'll be using is called Vader, right, which is a statistical method approach. So I'll go back to here, open, and then we start working on it. So let's close this, new, and then let's add a package. So cargo add Vader sentiment. So this is the library we're using, right? So once it's going to install on our system, and then we'll try and see how to use it. So let's go with use Vader sentiment, and then you start writing some code. So how does it work? So first, we can just create an analyzer, and then we just specify that we want to use Vader. It has sentiment intensity analyzer, then you create a new instance of it, Perfect. And we use this one now to compute our sentiment, right? To analyze a test to give our sentiment. So let's give it example. So example 1. Then I'm going to go with my analyzer dot polarity score. Then this takes in a string, right? I'm going to pass in my string here. So I love reading and then building. Something like this. Now this is going to analyze the test, compute the scores, and then return our sentiment. So in case I want to print it out, I can just print it out here. And this is going to be a hash map, so it's a dictionary. So now I can just go in this option here to return it as a collection. Then example 1, right? If I run it, so to run, let's run it with run. Then see that it's computing, compiling, building, and then it's going to give us the score. I see that just giving us a dictionary or a hash map in which you have the neutral, negative, neutral, positive, right? As I said, and the compound score is 0.6. That means it's a positive sentiment. So how does it do it? So it found the word laugh there, which is a positive sentiment, so it gives it a high score. And some words that are neutral, right? That's why it gave us this neutral score. And there was no negative word there, so it gave us 0. And now it's going to compute and give us the score. So this is a positive sentiment. If it's more than 0.05, it's a positive score. Now let's try again with a different example. On this same example, I'm just going to change this one from love to hate, right? By changing it to hate, you see that it's going to change completely. So let's run it again. So now it is negative sentiment, right? And then you see that the negative is high. So by just changing one word, we change the sentiment score or the polarity score of the entire test, right? That is how the lexical statistical approach is, right? Because it is having a lexicon of all the words, and by the presence of the words, it will change the entire score. Perfect. That is how to do it. So this is mostly a hash map, so you can just do get, and then you can pass in a compound in case you want to get the compound, this particular compound, and then you get the compound, right? So you can actually do that in case you only want to get this value because it's a hash map. Then you can run it again. Instead we got our let's run it again. Let's save it. Anytime I do that, it gives this error, but you can just drop it and then you can work on it, right? So I need to borrow it because so let's do quick fish. Let's see if it'll work. Yeah. That is, I like it, and it's working perfectly well, right? So we just bounded it to stored it, and then we got the result, right? Perfect. So that is how to do sentiment analysis in Rust. Now the other way is in the case you have a CSV file. So let's say I have a CSV file and I want to apply to it. So let's go with use polars, and I want to apply this stuff to it. How do we do that? I'm going to use polars, right? So I can just go back again and then cargo add polars. I'm going to add a polars to it, and in case I have a CSV file and I want to open or read a particular file, I can also use the same thing here. So let's go back here, read CSV. So I can just go, so let's let df right be equal to my CSV reader. So I have the code here to save us time, just to show you how we can apply it on a CSV file. So just take off this. Right, so I'm just going to get my test file. So I have a file called sentiment dataset, right, which I'll copy it from my desktop here. See here, copy this one, and then we will see it here. Just want to show you how you can apply it on a test. So go to my NLP, then I'll paste it here, right? So paste here, and you see how to read a simple file from that. Now, so this is our file, and in case I want to read it, I can just go my print line, then I can just pass it here just to read the first one. So df.head let's get the first 5, right? So let's read it. So I'll go back again and then let's run this. We're going to compile, process, and it's going to give us a result. Now, how do you apply this particular function to a column on it, right? So we will see how to do that. So it is very simple to do. So all you can do is that you can just go back again to the particular term that you have, right? So in case I have some term, I can just go and say, let's result be equal to, I want to apply it, right, to the entire stuff. So we can simply do something like this. So it's taking some time. Let me show you so that it's simple to do. I can just do the simple approach like this. Yep. So we have this is using Rust, right? And Polarity. So you have opened the data. You're going to pick the message column, then you're going to convert them, right, into an iterable, right, and then you're going to apply the function to it. So this is one of the ways of applying a particular function to all the columns in a particular data frame from Polarity, right? So you just pick the column and then you do all of this to get it into a list or into a dictionary. Then you use this map, then you apply the function that you want to apply on it, right? So this is one simple way of doing that. And now it's going to return a vector of the result that we want, right? So that is something simple. In case you want to, this is going to be a vector of whatever you assign it, but in case you want it in a dictionary because it's a hash map, you can also use the dot compound to get it as a compound. So this is some of the ways we can try and see how to do sentiment analysis in Rust. So thank you for watching the tutorial. See you another time. You can see that now we have our test here, right, open. Then let's run it and see. I want to run it again. Then it's going to compute and then give us the score for this one. So now it has given us all the score, right? You can see that for every test it has given us the score. We can also beautify it and make it nicer, right? Perfect. Thank you for watching. See you another time. Stay blessed.